This is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life.
Welcome to Dead Radio.
We're not doing that.
How did she come to have sex with a dead man?
Don't call me Radio Unit 91.
You're a dead man. You're a dead man!
He's God here in this radio station.
Place where the dead speak.
Rebel Radio!
I'm a fake? Yes. How'd you like to be dead?
You ever think about doing radio?
My team is dead!
But you're not crazy. You're me. And this is just radio.
By the powers vested in me by the Federal Communications Commission, I command you to get on the microphone in a serious manner and continue this broadcast.
All right.
All right. So I was right. 50% failure rate.
Once you shut up.
So we'll go ahead and mark it down that it didn't. I mean, no, I'm not going to mark it down until the end of the
Because
episode.
at the end of the show, I'm at a disadvantage, I feel.
Oh, yeah. At this point now. So for those that don't know, we've been having a contest to see what percentage Ryan's computer skips and jerks when you press buttons on it. Evidently, he did the 150th update since he got the computer, and it's working today.
You know how those PCs are? They just constantly update.
And
then it
I
turns into
seriously, I update my computer once every, 10 times there's an update. So I just get that notification. I go, remind me tomorrow every time I open my computer. And I do that for months. And nothing ever
You're
fucks
talking
up.
about the Mac.
Yeah.
This Mac here, it says I have an update, and I click it, and then it's like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
I don't even have to do anything. Restart,
Yeah.
nothing. It just just is like, it's fine now.
Yeah. I have the same machine at home, and it's great. Although I still don't understand why this computer seems faster. They both have 8 gigs of RAM, but this computer's like 6 years old, and my other one is like 2 years old. But this one seems faster. I just don't get it.
Welcome to Computer Talk on the Dead Radio podcast.
Mac fanboy talk.
Well, here we are, episode 182 of the Dead Radio podcast with Heather Powderly. Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Now, and you're with Hudson Valley Horror Fiends.
Yeah.
It's a group of like just horror fans from the
Yeah.
Hudson Valley, yeah?
Yeah, basically.
It's really, I got really, really excited when I found out you were coming on the show just because my wife and I, we were married on Halloween.
Oh, that's awesome.
Costume party, the whole 9
Yeah.
yards. We always do the garage that you saw. We open that up and clean it out, decorate the inside, and the kids come in there to
that's really cool.
to get candy
Yeah.
and murdered. No, but yeah, we always do something. You see all the dummies and the trolls and the freaking two-headed baby.
Not just regular
Yeah,
decor.
yeah. We're not, you know.
I like the neck pillow on there. That's a good place for that.
It's just been kicking around over here. That stupid neck pillow that my stepsister gave me as one of those Yankee swap Christmas presents.
Mm.
And I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? I wore it once on the show.
You wore it 3 weeks in a row.
It was cold. It was in the winter, and it gets cold down here. So yeah, it's nice. I'll probably wear it.
Probably.
I was gonna say,
nice.
you gotta break it out soon.
It's very
cold.
It's very comfortable, but the lion mane like tickles your face, so it's hard to sleep.
It's a neck pillow that it's the shape of a lion.
Yeah.
So that people are probably very
that's right.
confused by now.
Anybody listen, download. But Hudson Valley Horror Fiends are on Facebook, Instagram, the
Yeah.
typicals.
Yeah.
And so how long? I don't know. You guys are
Much
a
about
mystery.
anything,
Everybody's
yeah.
a mystery that comes on this show. It's just like, just write shit down so people know. I'm one to talk. Ours is just, our about page is the opening scroll from Blade Runner.
It makes no sense whatsoever. Just listen to the show and you'll figure it out.
Is it just you running it, or?
Yeah, we're not like incorporated or any of that stuff. It originally started as a meetup group, because none of my friends are into horror, which kind of sucks for someone like me.
It's weird like that, right?
Yeah, like I don't know, I don't understand, but I was desperately seeking some like-minded weirdos and So I just started the meetup group and wanted to go to movies together and then like talk about them after or whatever. And that was sort of how everything came to pass, I guess.
It sounds like a good podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard that.
Horror, Hudson Valley Horror Review or whatever the hell.
There have been so many awesome horror podcasts, though. I feel like
that's
you know?
It's one of those things that like nowadays
you need to put some sort of a spin
on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
but staying hyper local has really worked for us. So if
Oh,
you
yeah.
did
Yeah.
it
That's
the
Hudson
big
Valley
thing.
specific, especially if you could find some local people that are making some indie films and stuff.
Yeah, like we have a book club, like an arm, I guess, is a book club, and we've had a few local authors, which is a really cool thing that we've been trying to do. But yeah, I wouldn't know where to start with film unless we were like A Quiet Place was filmed in Pauling, which is pretty rad. But
that is awesome.
yeah,
I haven't. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's fucking.
I haven't
amazing.
seen it
Yeah,
yet.
Yeah,
you
it's
can
so
find it
good.
for free online, like pretty easy. Have you heard of Jen Place? She wrote Building 51.
only from your podcast.
okay.
Well, definitely reach out to her.
Yeah.
She'd be very stoked to meet some people who would
Yeah,
want to
definitely.
read.
Yeah, she's on the
Yeah.
list for me to read too, so I'm definitely gonna try to
Yeah.
reach out
Did we
to
ever
her.
sign that copy? We probably should have, huh?
Fuck no, we didn't. God damn, we're stupid. Like that's a stupid thing to do.
I'm sure I could just meet up with her and she'd do it. So.
Yeah, it's funny. Adam's into like you'll watch horror movies and stuff like that, but
I'm
it's
not
like,
into it the way that you are.
Yeah.
Horror for me, movies like there are only two movies I want to watch. It's sci-fi and horror. That's it.
Yeah,
And for me, I like the blend of the two the most. Something like A Quiet Place is a perfect example because it's aliens and it's a horror movie.
and it's post-apocalyptic.
And it's post-apocalyptic.
Oh,
That's
spoiler
perfect.
alert!
Yeah.
This
Aliens.
guy.
Yeah. Well, they
Wait.
tell you in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
Like there's a newspaper that says aliens
Yeah,
invade.
it's been out
it's the
a
first
while,
2 minutes
so.
of the movie. Yeah, so something like that is perfect for me. I'm not big on like the gore fest type of stuff. I like
Same.
more like
I
psychological
don't like
horror.
slasher.
The only
Same,
exception is
yeah.
zombie movies. I love zombie movies. But I don't like real gory zombie movies. Like I like the first 2 Resident Evil movies. The rest are dog shit. Actually, the first 2 are dog shit too, but in a fun way.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like nostalgic.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I think the first one was a pretty solid zombie movie, and then it just started to go off the rails in the second one. By the third one, it was just like, well, I'm going to watch it, but I'm not going to be happy about it.
Yeah, I'm not into slashers. Rob Zombie's like House of a Thousand Corpses type stuff. It's cool
His
and all
Halloween
in concept.
was great, though.
Yes, Halloween was
Yeah.
really good. I
Oh,
like that a
thank
lot.
God, because
Yeah.
people like to shit on me for loving that movie.
I love that
Really?
movie.
I
think
thought
it's-
it was good.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it's better than the original, but I think it's different enough to
Yeah,
call
agreed.
it something, on its own.
I just like how they explored
His
the
childhood
backstory.
Michael
and
Myers
stuff, yeah.
more because, like, to be honest, he's the most intriguing character out of the bunch.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
in the original, anyway.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, what I was getting at was like, Brooke was into like Disney movies and like fucking Shrek and shit when I met her.
Until you.
And, I just started, showing her these horror movies, and she really likes horror movies. And I like ghost stuff is my favorite because you can't fight a ghost, you can't hit it over the head with a hammer, you can't shoot it in the face. It's just you're fucked
Yeah.
until you get a magic priest over and do his voodoo or whatever the hell. But like. Those are my favorites. Paranormal Activity, we had a bootleg copy, which was like the Sundance version.
Yeah.
And the ending for that was way better than the one in the theatrical release. That fucking kept me up for like a week.
Yeah.
That scared the shit out of me. That movie fucking terrified me.
Yeah,
he
you can't-
fell asleep, and Brooke, my
Yeah.
wife, fell asleep.
Yeah, you just can't hang your foot over the side of the bed ever again.
No.
Yeah, you're totally under the blankets. Everything's tucked in. Doors are shut and locked.
Which doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was like, and we don't have any real like, friends that are like really into horror movies. Like we'll go see them
Yeah.
with us in the theaters,
Mhm,
kind
same.
of thing.
Yep.
Like we went, we saw Insidious 2 in the theaters because we loved Insidious so much. Insidious 2, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a couple, but they have kids.
Yeah.
and
Kids ruin everything.
lives that just they just can't. They don't intersect. So and that's usually our
Yeah,
like.
we see each other too much, so he's not going to ask me to go to the
Hell no, hell no. But yeah. So that's interesting that you just. How long have you been doing it for?
About a year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been slow moving just to like find people who are again interested, which is so weird to me.
It's very hard. Do you know how long it took us to get like 100 likes on Facebook?
Well, not only that, just getting people. For us, it's a little different. You almost can passively listen to our show. You know, you can you don't have to do much. You download it, you queue it up, and boom, you got it. But with a meetup.
You have to get up.
You have to get up.
Yep.
You have to leave you have to get dressed. You got to leave the house. You got to drive somewhere. Like people don't want to fucking do that anymore.
Yeah, I know.
It's tricky, and I'm guilty of it too. But I find like when I actually get my ass up and go out and do something, I have way more fun than I would have just sitting at home. And I think and with horror movies. It's better to go with a shitload of people who are into it.
Yeah.
Because like some people like it, but aren't scared of them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like the movies don't scare them because they.
I'm in that camp. I'm not really afraid of anything really. Like nothing really bothers me anymore. But I don't know. Like it's just I sit alone in the theater all the time. It's so lame.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for my tribe. That's what's going on.
Yeah. No, it's and that's the beauty of Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
connecting strangers, one common goal: to get the shit scared out of them. To shit their pants in public in the theater. But I get myself into it.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that jumps off the couch, goes, "Oh fuck!" screaming and yelling and shit. I love that stuff. I just let it take me.
Yeah.
Because I don't, it doesn't. I'm not afraid to be scared. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, like you're saying, like Paranormal Activity. Once I watched it the second time, that definitely fucked me up. That was scary. But a movie like A Quiet Place was jumpy scary, but it's not something that kept me up that night.
Yeah.
The Ring.
That one fucked me up for a while.
That was the worst. By far the worst.
The girl in the closet where her head flops over. That'll get stuck in. That'll keep me up at night now sometimes. So well done. So those are the real standout type of things. The ones that like fuck you up for days.
Yeah.
I think The Conjuring, the first one.
Conjuring, Insidious bothered me a lot. Yeah. Conjuring 2 even scared me pretty thoroughly. My brother, I loaned him the DVD. He said he got halfway through it and he turned it off. He's like, "This is gonna give me nightmares. I can't do it." So, what got you into horror?
My mom was a big horror fan, which is weird. Like I didn't process it as a kid, I guess. But she had bookshelves covered with Stephen King and Clive Barker, Dean Koontz, the staples. And I think I was 9 when she was like, "Let's sit down and watch Fright Night." And I was like, "I don't know what that is." And it was weird because she was strict about so many things. Yeah. But when it came to horror, she's like, "Let's do it." And I just remember being terrified of everything. I was absolutely terrified. But as I got older, I just sort of adopted it, I guess, because of her insistence that we watch everything. So it was Fright Night and then Salem's Lot and then Lost Boys and the late 80s stuff. And yeah, it just sort of became my thing after a while.
I need to watch The Lost Boys again.
I just watched it.
It's
God damn it. What is it on? Help me.
Hulu, maybe?
I gotta watch it.
It was on Netflix. I don't know if
it still might be on something that I have. So it's either Amazon Prime, Netflix, or Hulu.
I definitely gotta watch it.
Because Amy watched the other day. And I was going in and out of the room. I was doing a bunch of other stuff. And just parts of it don't hold up. And then parts of it are so great. The grandfather would be like, "The thing I never liked about this town is all the goddamn vampires." You're like, he knew the whole time?
It's the best.
I guess my first jump into horror was much like you. I used to hang out with my dad. My dad was a single dad. With me and my brother. So it was just like when he got home, we ate dinner and we watched fucking TV because he didn't want to do a goddamn thing. And it was like Predator and Aliens, not Alien, but Aliens, like the action horror movies.
Yep.
And then
I don't consider Aliens a horror movie. I consider Alien a horror movie.
Yes.
Aliens is a sci-fi action movie.
Right.
Just because people die doesn't make it a horror movie.
Right.
If it was from Newt's perspective, from like before they get there.
Oh, what a good prequel that would make.
Yeah. That I would consider a horror movie because you have, your the enemy that's attacked and there's nothing you can do and all that. Like they have guns. Like it's a little different.
Yeah.
I think a horror movie, the odds really have to be stacked against you and there's no help on the way.
Yeah.
Bram
Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
That was the other one that I watched as a kid. That terrified me.
Was that the Keanu Reeves one?
Yes.
Okay.
Even like as a kid, you don't realize. You watch it now and you're like, Jesus, man, what were you doing?
Yeah.
That one's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really, I don't know. It's just interesting.
It's Coppola.
It's very different than the book, but very well done. They made it their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the special effects were really, really good for the time, which and that was the time when they were not really using green screens. They were still using like weird projection techniques, and like you have like the carriage going up the mountain. The castle's a painting; it's not real.
Yeah.
So it was just like an interesting time for film where you were using a lot of old techniques with a lot of new techniques, and it was all practical special effects, all makeup.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was just really well done. The bat thing, when you can you imagine the prosthetic work on that? That probably cost $2 million to get that scene
and
together.
Half the time it holds up so much better than like CGI.
Oh, practical effects for sure.
Oh yeah, just watch fucking Dracula 3000.
Or
then
Van Helsing.
You see Van Helsing. Jesus.
That's when
shit.
That was when CGI was like through the fucking. Everybody's like, "Oh, this is so easy."
Yeah. The worst part about it is I love that movie. I mean, I don't like the movie at all, but the design of the werewolf is really awesome. The execution was garbage because it really looked like a werewolf-human hybrid. So I really liked that, but the movie was just total dog shit.
See what happens though?
Yeah.
You start chatting, this movie, that movie, this movie, that movie. Everybody's like trading cards almost.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nobody gets hyped like this for dramas. I mean, maybe Kathleen does.
True.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe old Stick in the Mud gets enjoys it.
Fucking bummer movies. No, thank you.
That's what I love about like comedies are another my genre. Sci-fi, comedy, and horror are my big ones. But like comedy and horror, you get this reaction, but a verbal reaction from it.
Yeah.
You get a jump, a scare, or a laugh, or whatever the hell. And I think that if you can tap into that, I think that's gold. You know, and I think that's why I love horror movies so much. Like if you're able to scare me, I'm impressed by it.
Yeah,
I'm really impressed by that stuff. And nowadays, like, what do you think new horror? What's like your favorite like new horror movies?
I saw Hereditary when it first came out.
Hereditary?
Yeah, have you guys not?
No,
not even heard of that.
Okay,
I'm gonna write it down.
It's intense. I don't even know. A lot of people were worried based on the coming attractions that it wasn't going to live up to the hype.
Mm-hmm.
It literally ruined me for like a week.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was just telling random people about it and scaring them based on just like my description of the film. It's just super intense. So if you get a chance, I would definitely see Hereditary.
Is it a psychological spirit, like a spirit kind of thing, or
it's kind of a hybrid.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So the majority of the movie is spent sort of like living in this really awful place of grief with a family that just experiences a lot of loss, and then some of the spiritual elements come in at the end that you don't expect at all.
Very
so
cool.
It's really interesting. It's the first film from the director. So it's
Oh,
really cool.
those are fun because those guys kind of pull out.
Yeah.
They go for gold.
Yeah, like even
they go
like
for broke.
89% on
Hey,
Rotten Tomatoes.
and that's like
yeah.
Yeah.
when they give
That's pretty good. It's got Toni Collette. The director is Ari Aster.
when you get
Yep.
over 70% on Rotten Tomatoes for a horror movie,
Yeah.
it's probably going to be pretty fucking good.
And it stayed there because it came out a few months ago, so it stayed in like the high 80s that whole time.
Yeah.
So usually it'll come out, people will get really psyched for it. Like the new Halloween, I think has like almost 100% now. It's gonna drop like right away as soon as it gets wide release. People are
Yeah.
just gonna start shitting all over it. So
And you're doing a meetup for that.
yeah,
At
'cause it's
was it
so
what is it? The Carmel Cinema.
Carmel.
Carmel Cinema on October 9th. 19th. Yeah.
Yeah, it's opening night. I'm just hoping people will be interested because it's a reimagining of a classic. You know.
Is it after the first one?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
so have you heard about this?
No.
So
wow.
they got a new Halloween movie.
Okay.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
I did hear about this. Yes.
It's the Halloween 2 till what is it? What was the last one they did?
Oh my
Whatever. All those
A lot.
Jason Takes Manhattan. I don't remember.
all those
Yeah,
are gone.
yeah.
All the Halloween movies are done. So you have the first one where she's a teenager and the one that's present day.
Yeah, 40
That's
years
coming out
later.
now. Yeah, 40 years later.
So,
And
they're throwing that out of the canon.
What's that?
What
They're
do you
throwing
mean?
all the other Halloween movies out of the canon.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
This
interesting.
new Halloween movie is according to the original movie, is the only sequel.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was. It's
Yeah.
an interesting way of doing shit as a
Yeah.
directors and writers and everything. They're like, fuck these movies. They sucked. We're
Yeah.
gonna make it better. And it's like, wow.
And it's Danny McBride did some of the writing. He's from Pineapple Express.
Oh,
Yeah,
Danny
yeah,
McBride's
absolutely.
hilarious.
He's hilarious.
So it's his first horror too. So they're
Cool.
saying it's like a really awesome directorial debut for him.
Yeah.
Especially like trying to keep in step with the rest of the canon. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
Jordan Peele too with
Yeah,
Get
with
Out.
Get Out.
Yeah, that was his.
Fuck, that was so
Who
good.
who saw that shit coming?
Yeah.
I know, right?
I never
that's Key
thought
and
that he would be
Peele.
that
That's
good
it's a
at
skit
yeah,
comedy
I mean,
show.
I know.
And he banged out a
Yeah.
really good horror movie.
What didn't he do something else recently too?
He did it was like a
Keanu?
HBO special or something. Keanu.
Yeah, he did something. Yeah, something recently that I saw that look. I'm not being very helpful because I don't know what it was, but I saw a preview and said I'm going to check that out, and then it's gone from my brain now.
Yeah.
But
And he's
yeah.
in talks to redo Twilight Zone. And now they're talking about him redoing Candyman. So
Nice.
That I think that would
Candyman
be,
needs a facelift.
Yeah,
yeah,
something that would be really good for a total reboot. I would love to see a new Twilight Zone movie.
Sure.
You know,
Like the skit
Yeah.
style.
I don't think I'd want to see a series. Maybe
No,
a
I'm-
mini series.
Yeah.
Like a six episode run on like HBO or something. That would be awesome.
I
But-
was just talking about that movie. Or
The Twilight Zone movie?
Twilight Zone
Yeah.
movie and Tales from the. We've been talking about
Tales from the
Tales
Crypt.
from the Crypt, really, because I'm working on a production piece and
Yeah. we also we work with this girl Kathleen, and she's never seen any movies.
she's so bad at watching movies.
The last time that we had her on the show, we gave her homework and made her watch Back to the Future, and she hated it.
Oh, I'm kind
So,
of with her. I hate
yeah.
Back to the Future too.
Oh, well,
Really?
let's move on from that. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. No, I just don't want to go down a rabbit hole, and I want to have a nice conversation. But the next time she comes on the show, she has to watch Tales from the Crypt Demon Night.
Okay.
That's what's been
Yeah,
decided.
Not
because
Bordello
she will.
Blood?
No, because
No.
that one really sucks.
Who the fuck said Dennis Miller? That's
Yeah.
now that's a leading man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that she wouldn't get through it. She'd turn it off.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna
Demon-
turn off
yeah.
Demon Night.
But she
Billy
go-
Zane's
she
as soon
watched
as
Back to
Billy
the
Zane
Future.
shows up, she's gonna be like, Jesus.
Yeah. I don't think she'll be offended at like how campy and bad it is in her opinion, but she won't be as offended as she would be watching Bordello of Blood.
Okay. Okay.
Because it is a whorehouse after all. So yeah, she has to watch that. And that is a movie I love. Even though I know it's not good.
Right.
That's not the point. It's really fun and it's hilarious and it's awesome and it's not meant to be good.
And it
it's meant to
stars
be,
the
it's meant to
jewel
be
of the
stupid.
Hudson Valley, William
Yeah.
Sadler.
William Sadler. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, he lives around here.
I didn't know
He
that.
lives in like
Absolutely.
Pleasant Valley or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I got drunk with him at Brasserie one time.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he was already drunk, to be fair, and I tried to catch up. But yeah, I tell the story all the time. But I ran into him, and I just recently watched Demon Knight on Netflix back when you used to get DVDs in the mail. So it's even more of a coincidence. So yeah.
Yeah, you had to make a conscious decision
I'd be like, I'm fucking
to
watching
sit
Demon Knight.
and wait
Yeah.
for Demon Knight.
Move that to the top of the queue. So that comes first. Yeah.
Oh man.
So we talked. He was just like, "Oh yeah, that was a fun one." Like he didn't really want to talk about it, but I had to say, like, I seriously I know it's not one of the 5 or 6 Academy Award winning films you've been in, but I just watched Demon Knight and it was awesome.
So these meetups, have they been working out, or are
No,
they still slow?
not at all.
Oh, really?
No, I'm lucky because a lot of my friends are like, we'll go because we support you, but horror is terrible. So, I mean, there have been a few people, but they're mostly my people. So,
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that with the horror festival, we'll get a little bit more like exposure and people will be like, oh, this is pretty cool. And
Yeah.
want to take part.
Talk about that. The horror festival. It's the I lost my
House of Horrors.
House of Horrors. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a friend who was doing judging for the VOB Village of Brewster Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And she said they want to do a horror night. Would you be interested in taking it over? And I said, absolutely. She hooked me up with the executive director, Bob Dumont. He's what a doll. Like from the moment I sat down with him, he was like, whatever you want, we'll pay for it. Just do what you want to do, within reason. And yeah, so from there we reached out to the theater and immediately they were like, yeah, absolutely. You can have it here. And it's going to be about 2 hours, maybe a little bit more, of shorts that were submitted by the filmmakers.
Oh, cool.
And then we're going to have like a short intermission. We're going to do some raffles. We have some really cool sponsors who've donated some stuff. And then we're going to go straight into Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, the classic.
Exactly, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's going to be...
Yeah, it's a good choice because you don't have to pay anybody.
I think we did because
You
we're
did?
charging for it. I don't know. It was
Yeah,
confusing.
it's Night of the Living Dead's public domain.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, you guys can handle that. I don't know. This is what I want to do.
Was that just the first choice, or was because it was public domain? It was like
it was partially that, but also I'm hoping that if we get to do this every year, that we'll kind of theme them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, it's our first year. We're going to celebrate all these indie filmmakers submitting their films. So I was like, what's the best indie film ever? Which is Night of the Living Dead, and it's 50th anniversary this year. So it just sort of
I
like
didn't know that. That's awesome.
all came together, you know.
All right, so there you go.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite movies. We
I
were
know,
just
it's so
talking about
good.
it the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was saying how like George A. Romero was like, we didn't think we were being progressive.
I know.
Having
I
a
love
black
when
guy
he says
slap a
that.
white woman. We were just like, hey, he's just the best actor we know.
Yeah. And you don't
Yeah.
know if he's full of it or if he's
Yeah.
just like...
Could be. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember
but the-
watching that movie for the first time, knowing when it came out, and going, "This guy's the leading. He's the leading man."
Yeah.
Like halfway through the movie, I'm like, "Motherfucker! It's
Yeah.
a black leading man in
Yeah.
black and white film." Jesus, when
He's
was that? What year was that released?
68.
Yeah, that's a big
Yeah.
fucking
like,
deal.
It's like, I'm the boss up here. You can be the boss down there. Jesus. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was wild. I'm like, holy shit, that's pretty bold. But yeah, like you said, he's just kind of like whatever.
I mean, some people just weren't racist back then. You know, like they were probably the minority, but some people just weren't racist. So yeah,
I'm not a big zombie guy. I always thought like George A. Romero, you gotta show him respect. But I show a little bit more respect to George A. Romero than George Lucas, but like it's the same vein in my opinion. They
Yeah,
had
even if you
great
don't- yeah.
concepts, but their execution was better done by other directors.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
well,
mean?
the thing is, I love zombie movies. There's only 3 good ones.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
You know, and even then, I would say the remake of Dawn of the Dead from 2004 is the only really genuinely good zombie movie.
Oh, I was just talking about this. Yeah.
It has production value, actual actors, a decent script, and they didn't fuck anything up too much.
Oh, I have to one up this.
Yeah.
28 Days Later.
28 Days Later, but
terrifies me.
But the thing with 28 Days Later is I consider that a zombie movie, but it's a derivative of a zombie movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
they're not proper zombies.
They're people that are alive.
Yeah.
They are alive. They're eating other people.
They're just raging.
Yeah. But they have some sort of a virus that, and the thing is they starve to death. They're alive.
Yeah.
So it's different. They're not the undead. So I really enjoy that movie. I just consider it a slightly separate thing. That's more of like a sci-fi horror movie than a horror movie.
That movie was nuts.
Yeah.
That
and one of my look at our fucking font. One of my favorites, and it definitely a better movie than Dawn of the Dead from 2004. But if you're going pure Romero type zombie movie, Dawn of the Dead, from 2004. That was the only one where I think they nailed it at every turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then The Walking Dead. But even that's like a little bit different.
Yeah, that's true.
And even and again, like the whole idea of the zombie has evolved because in the original, Romero Night of the Living Dead, it's people that died are reanimating for some reason.
Yeah, it's
and
never
they never really give it. Like there's like mention of a comet in some of the other later films, but not in that one. The recently deceased are coming back to life, and that's pretty scary. Just because you got to worry about fucking grandma sitting over there. You ever seen Fido?
Yes, I love Fido.
Fido's so fucking great.
Fido was really fun.
Yeah, and in that one, it's just like they have like collars that they make old people wear that alert the authorities when they die, so that they can get there and kill them or put a collar around them, turn them into slaves. And it all takes place in the 50s, so it's hilarious. Such a good movie.
Yeah. So the film festival. After that, it feels like the vibe I get just poking around on Facebook and Instagram is that like you also, and stop me if I'm incorrect, but there's not enough horror type genre events that go on in the Hudson Valley either.
Yeah, 100%.
And I feel as soon as October 1st hits, I'm even before summer, I'm planning shit. We've been
already working on shit.
Oh yeah,
right?
we've been working on stuff for months, and if we can only find the time to finish it, but when October 1st comes around, it's just like, why aren't we just doing crazy shit around here? The scenery's good.
Yeah.
The weather's nice for the majority of October. The weather's pretty friggin' nice. So like, why the hell isn't any more kind of things like this going on? And even the walkway, the movies under the stars and everything like that.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I have some lofty goals for the group.
Yeah.
And I'd love to do even like a kids pseudo horror thing, like maybe like Paranorman or like Hocus Pocus.
Paranorman's fucking great.
Isn't it great?
I haven't seen that
So
one.
If you haven't seen Paranorman, you should.
Hocus Pocus is a good option.
Yeah, it's a classic.
and especially because the parents are gonna be like, I have loved that movie since I was a kid.
Exactly.
The 22-year-olds
Yeah.
nowadays who are obsessed with that and Home Alone will absolutely come out.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Or even Nightmare Before
Oh,
Christmas,
of course.
something like that. Or I don't know, like I'd love to do like screenings of movies that don't get wide releases. That would be really cool because there's nowhere around here that even plays those limited releases.
Yeah.
So like I've heard such amazing things about Mandy, the new Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I was just talking to somebody today.
And it's not playing anywhere. And I'm like, it would be pretty cool if we could get that to play somewhere.
Yeah, I had no idea Nicolas Cage was in it.
Oh yeah.
And he did okay?
Because I don't know, I haven't seen it. I've heard really good things.
All I've heard is positive reviews
same.
for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like Nick Cage from from right field. Like, he was gone.
Well, you throw
He
enough
was
shit.
dead.
Nah, he wasn't gone. He's still making.
No,
movies.
he's still around, but
Yeah,
he's like,
that's what I'm
when
saying,
it comes to
like,
like
you know.
real serious acting, he's like the Wicker Man killed him.
Probably. Yeah. God, that was a hunk of shit.
Not the beast. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
I didn't think the original was good either. Like,
It's okay. I
the
feel like,
original was
again,
a snooze fest.
conceptually, it's a good idea.
Yeah,
Really
but the
boring.
original was too much like, what is that, 70s?
Yeah.
Like, it's an hour too long,
Mm-hmm.
and they just lose you, and there's just all these weird scenes. I only watched it once. I think that was like Netflix. I probably did it when the new Wicker Man came out. I got the DVD for that. I could barely get through it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like chopped together.
Just
weird.
like, when is this guy getting burned alive? 'Cause I'm fucking tired of this.
Yeah, Nick fucking Cage. My guy, the guy I've been, following, steadfast is James Wan.
Okay.
And he did, Saw, but he also did Insidious and Conjuring.
Yeah.
And a couple others in and out. But
Annabelle, like
Annabelle,
the
yeah.
whole universe.
He just has his way. He has his way of hitting me because he uses this combination of sound. These weird kind of sound build-ups, and then they're gone. Like, you almost like you forget that you're not listening to music, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Why is this so loud?" And he does things like that, and I think, and there's a lot of movies that are coming out that are stretching the genres for horror too, and coming up with different concepts, like The Ritual on it was a Netflix movie.
Oh yeah, I love The Ritual.
That one was really good. And
I don't know if I
it was all like Nordic myth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't say. I don't want to give it away. That one was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I really like that.
It took a real sharp turn on me. I was like, I didn't see
What
this
is happening?
But
I watched The Endless too, which is on Netflix now. It's in the same vein. It just reminds me so much of The Ritual. It's equally out of left field, I guess.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you see one idea and you think it's going to flesh out a certain way, and it just completely just like bypasses what you think is going to happen.
And Insidious 2 was another one with the astral projection kind of stuff, and like the departure from religion.
Yeah,
that's what. And I watched. I think it was the last key, Insidious: The Last Key.
Oh, okay.
I still haven't seen that one.
It's not great.
Yeah,
but she's helping out these people, and this guy goes, "You might need this," and he hands her a Bible, and she holds it, and she goes, "Thank you," and he leaves, and he just goes. She looks at it, she makes a face and tosses it, tosses it onto the desk like she doesn't need it, and I was just like, "Oh, see, that's cool," because like, so The Exorcist. The end-all, be-all for most people. That kind of set a tone for that exorcism, like demon. God, what's the term I'm looking for? Possession. That demon possession thing, and it ties so much into the Catholic Church and everything like that. The whole religion thing throws people sometimes, especially me. And I mean, I can, I'm fine with it.
You're just like, I like fun made up things, not made up things that influence U.S. policy.
So, but yeah, it's nice to see. There was another movie. It had, God, what the fuck was it? It had to do with Jewish myth that I saw. Matisyahu was in it.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. It was pretty
Love
good too. I just like seeing different takes on the horror
I feel
genre
like I've seen
nowadays.
that one.
I can't remember the name of it.
What was it about?
It's about a box.
It's about a box?
About a box that was cursed by Jews. And
Yes,
you
yes,
you
I've
open the
seen
box
it.
and it's really
yeah,
scary.
I remember
But
scenes
this
for
divorced
like
dad with his two daughters, and he's
the scene with Matisyahu is like when they're in the city and he's sitting on the stairs and he's singing.
Yeah. And he
I've
takes
seen
him
it,
to
but I can't.
Oh, so he doesn't star in
something.
it.
There's some.
No, he just has this
okay.
this.
No, he has a cameo.
Okay.
But he's in it for like a solid half hour at the end of the movie.
Okay.
He's doing all the rites
I
and the
gotta
rituals
look-
and
I
all
gotta
that
look
stuff.
it up.
Yeah, I know, right? It's gonna drive me nuts. I saw it on a whim. I was like, that wasn't too bad. That's another thing. Horror movies, like sometimes they just surprise you. You're like, shit, that wasn't bad, or
Yeah.
wow, that was
It's
doo-doo.
called The Possession.
Oh, that
2012.
Oh, okay. Was
Yeah,
it?
it was produced by Sam Raimi.
Kira Sedgwick was in that.
I'm about to find it. Yep, Kira Sedgwick.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey Dean Martin, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Jeffrey
that was
Dean
pretty
Morgan.
Good. Yeah. That's it.
Yep.
Okay,
And
yeah, I have
Modest
seen
Yahoo.
that. I didn't realize Modest Yahoo was in that.
Yeah, he was the rabbi doing the
Oh.
chanting at the
He's
end.
not a rabbi,
Okay.
I don't think. He was just a Hasidic Jewish guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know nothing.
So it came out in
about rabbis or the
2012.
Torah or all that nonsense.
Yeah, great movie.
Nonsense is terrible.
Yeah.
Favorite horror movie? Now I want to know. I knew this was gonna just like swing and a miss.
Can we do top 3?
Sure, let's
Okay.
do it.
The Descent, and this is in no particular
Still haven't
order.
watched that goddamn
I like that movie.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
so
it's
good.
Yeah.
Probably Nosferatu.
Okay.
I like the classics. And again, just for nostalgia's sake, Lost Boys. I can't help it.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell. I couldn't even tell you. Just
Horror movie? I mean, Alien's going to be my top one, like I was pretending to be drunk before saying. But
Horror confession, I've never seen Alien.
Never seen Alien.
No, it's
Yeah.
on my list, but
Yeah, you should
Wow.
definitely see
I
Alien.
know,
it's on
a
HBO.
classic.
Yeah, and
Oh,
yeah, it's very well done.
I know, that's what I
Yeah.
hear.
And it's
It's all about tension. It's just like there's a
Yeah.
couple of
Yeah.
jump out scares, but it's mostly tension.
Yeah, and they don't really tell you what's going on. Like that's one thing I've always liked about the Alien canon is that they really don't explain anything. They're starting to, but they really don't explain anything and this fucking 30 years later.
Yeah.
And now they're just starting to tell you how it all works.
In movies that are hard to get through.
Yeah, because they're so confusing. Ugh.
I did not like Covenant. Ugh.
I liked it, but I had some problems with it.
It was
But
like
again,
a
I consider
snooze
that more of a
fest.
sci-fi.
Have you seen
action
any of
movie.
the Alien movies?
I haven't seen any of
Oh,
them.
wow.
I know.
You're about to go on a
Just-
magical
you should-
journey.
Yeah, you should watch them in the order that they came out.
Yeah.
But skip Alien 4 and Alien vs. Predator.
Okay.
Just don't even watch them. Don't
Okay.
even bother. They don't help with the canon. They don't need to be there. Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
watch Alien vs. Predator Requiem and turn the brightness all the way up on your screen so you can actually watch the movie.
Yeah. Even then, you can't. The movie was really dark to cover up the fact that they didn't have a budget, so the CGI looked really bad. Yeah, very, very, very bad movie. Don't watch. Just watch Alien. Just watch the first 3. That's all you really need to watch.
Okay.
And then, I mean, if you wanna like watch the new movies like 5, 6, 7 times before you understand what's going on, you could do that too.
Is Prometheus part of
Yeah,
Alien? It is?
yeah.
Okay.
Prometheus and Covenant are prequels.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ugh. Okay.
yeah, yeah. It's tough. It's tough to follow. But yeah, I would say Alien, followed by Night of the Living Dead, the original. But it's almost a toss-up between the original and the '93 remake. Because I love the
really?
'93
The 93 remake's good.
I don't think I've seen it.
You should
Really?
definitely
Yeah.
see it.
Tony Todd.
Yeah.
Oh,
The Candyman.
really?
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never seen
Yeah,
it.
you should definitely watch that. That was a
He's
TV,
great
that was a
'cause he
TV
looks like a
movie. That wasn't
psychopath.
even that was a TV movie. That wasn't even
Ah.
released in theaters.
Okay.
I can't remember who did it, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't released in theaters. I don't know. It was 1993. I was a child. I was what 10. But that was the first one that I saw. I didn't see the Romero version until I was probably 17 or 18. So that was the first version that I saw. So that's kind of why I really enjoy it. But I also don't feel like I could put it ahead of the Romero version. So they're kind of neck and neck. So if I were to do a top 3, it'd probably be those 3. And there is still a reason why you can't stream the '93 version. Because it's desirable. People are still paying $3.99 for it to watch it on demand.
Oh. And I heard that they changed up the Night of the Living Dead title so that it wouldn't be included in the original arc.
I think so.
So that they would have to pay copyright for it or something like that.
It's possible.
I
Are
don't
you
know.
talking about the thing for the original?
Well, the original is now copyright free, obviously.
Yeah.
But with all the sequels that came after, from Return of the Living Dead, even Dawn of the Dead, all of those, they adjusted the title a little bit just so it wouldn't be part of the original
Oh.
So that it would lose, or it would be
even
fit
though
for copyright.
The thing is if you just do all your paperwork, they could. The '93 version, they called it Night of the Living Dead because there was no movie registered under a copyright for that name.
Oh.
So this is a guess. It's conjecture. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it's called Night of the Living Dead. They didn't change the name for that movie. I can look it up. But the original Night of the Living Dead was called Night of the Flesh Eaters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then they changed it at the last minute and just didn't file the paperwork. So as soon as it was released, it became public domain.
You're getting geared up for the friggin' Halloween season.
Yeah.
You a fan of Halloween too, or is it just the horror genre in general? Or?
Yeah. It's, I don't know. They're so closely related for me. But I feel like Halloween's a little more silly, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I find
For me, I know a lot of people take it super seriously, but I just I'm going to dress up my dog. Like, that's what Halloween is for me.
My thing, I like doing scary.
Yeah.
Like really scary. But there's always part of me that just wants to do a really funny costume. Like, I got this great, I want Brooke and I to do Doc and Marty from Back to the Future.
Oh, cute.
And I want to make the big friggin' that light up helmet thing that he had with the suction cup.
Yeah.
That's the costume that I want to do. I make it out of like what are those Xer, what a fucking the friggin' toys, those old ass toys. I don't know if they still make them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what I
You
mean?
said,
They like
what
bolt
are the
together.
friggin' the toys?
They bolt together and They bolt together.
I got nothing.
That's it. They bolt together.
Okay.
Not Legos.
Okay. Erector set?
Yes! Erector set. Thank you.
So I
it's got
misspoke
erection in
earlier.
it somewhere. I don't know.
The remake was 1990, and it was directed by Tom Savini.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sex Machine.
Sex Machine. He directed it?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
So, Sex.
You know what we're talking about?
You've seen. Fuck.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh no, I haven't seen that either.
No,
yeah, Tom
shit
Savini. Tom Savini was in. He's been in a ton of horror movies.
Isn't he a special effects artist?
Yeah, he was a special effects artist, but he would usually get a bit part in every movie that he was in. So he kind of became a character actor. He always had the Fu Manchu.
Yeah.
And From Dusk Till Dawn, his name is Sex Machine, and he has a penis gun. He wears it's like a fucking cod piece.
Yeah.
And it flips open and a gun flips out and it's got like these two.
It's got a barrel and it's got a revolver.
Yeah.
The revolvers as the balls.
Yeah. And his name is Sex Machine.
The dumbest thing
you've
ever seen.
So Tom Savini directed. I didn't know that. But yeah.
That's why it's so good.
But yeah, Tony Todd's in it. And it's not a shot for shot remake, but they changed some dialogue, but the whole movie, it stays very true to the original, only changing a few things.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was just a little bit more modern. It took place in 1990.
Right.
But yeah, you should definitely check it out. It's great.
Should definitely take a break.
All right.
We're 45 minutes in.
I've already
That's what happens when we were just rambling on and on.
Yeah.
So, hope you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And we're not
I'm
weirding
good.
you out too much with the dick in the middle of the table and everything.
I was going to ask. It's distracting sometimes when the table shakes.
It was a gift.
Okay.
Just leave it at that. Yeah, so if you want to check out Hudson Valley Horror Fiends, at HV Horror Fiends on Facebook and Instagram.
Do it.
You guys have a book club, and you meet first Saturday at the Mayapack, every first Saturday of the month at the Mayapack Library.
Yep.
And this next one is Saturday, October 6th. And then also you're doing a meetup on October 19th at the Carmel Cinema. What did I write there? 6 to 11. It looked like a G.
Oh, no, that's the horror festival.
Oh, wait. Did I fuck that up? I did. Yeah, you're screening the new Halloween movie. And then October 21st, that's Sunday, House of Horrors Film Festival, Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
And other shorts from other local directors? Or
No, they're from literally all over the world.
Wow.
From, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
Very neat. So, yeah.
That's October 21st, you said?
Yes.
I'm gonna put that in there.
I'm gonna. So, yeah, so check those guys out. If you want to meet up, send a message. And
Yeah.
Go see a movie. I'm waiting for iTunes to pop up. Do you got anything? I always forget to turn the goddamn thing on.
I'm really disappointed in you for not going. Yes, so we're going to play some music and then playing that fucking sound effects thing you're always doing. There you go. We'll just listen to this for the next 5 minutes. But I knew you weren't going to get there, and I knew I wouldn't be able to scrawl out a note without going, what are you writing? Oh, yeah, I guess I should do that.
Yeah, I'm not good at this thing.
Someday.
All right, so we're going to play some NCM and among other things. And we'll take a quick break, regroup, come back. We'll do What Are You Drinking? We'll talk more about horror movies.
Cool.
And sci-fi here and there.
Yeah.
Someday it'll be just us. 'Cause I know someday persevere. Fall again, that's okay. Remember that tomorrow will be there to try again. I'll bury my apples with you in the sea. But one day we'll look out from our tree. Someday no one will find us, and we'll pack our fruit and then we'll disappear. Someday they'll all miss us, 'cause I know someday you'll persevere. Fall again, that's okay. Remember that tomorrow will be there to try again. I'll bury my apples with you in the sea. One day we'll look out from our tree. Someday it'll be just us, 'cause I know someday persevere.
This is Logan Callahan. You can check out my music at logancallahan.bandcamp.com. You are listening to Dead Radio Podcast, the #1 podcast in Poughkeepsie, because fuck Darkside.
All right. Short intermission. Big shout out to our loyal buddy,
Old Logs Callahan.
Old Logs Callahan. Happy birthday, bud. Sorry I couldn't make the.
Sorry I couldn't make it.
I couldn't make it because I'm sick and I'm still sick. I need to go to the doctor tomorrow. So that's what's happening because this shit is not kicking.
We could have made it if he kept it on Sunday, but he moved it to Saturday.
Yeah.
So
thing.
we had another birthday party that we had already committed to. Sorry, friend.
Sorry.
Yeah, but Sunday would have been perfect because I opened. I would have been out early. I didn't have to work till 11 today.
Also wanted to shout out to our friend Ryan G. Brown for winning Best of Hudson Valley, Best Artist in the Hudson Valley.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's the guy that designed our this special edition logo. This is the original. So he helped design that. I don't know if anybody's seeing it. We had actually T-shirts. Those T-shirts with his design on them are available at Zazzle.com/deadradiopodcast if you're interested. So yeah, he won Best Artist of the Hudson Valley.
That's awesome.
He's like, I don't even know what the hell to say.
He didn't promote it. He doesn't know who nominated him, and he doesn't know who voted for him.
And I'm like, well, I know I did because it came on the show, and you know he did all this stuff for us. He's great. He's a fantastic artist.
But I didn't even know about it. I would have voted for him if I known that he is nominated.
He wasn't. You just write it in.
No, what I'm saying is that you nominate someone and then it goes on the website and then people can vote. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought you just wrote it in your shit.
No. Well, you can, yeah. But let's say I want to have the best coffee shop in the Hudson Valley, and they won't put a category. They won't pick a bunch of things. The first ones are write-ins, and those are nominations, and then people vote for it.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is probably why the categories are completely fucking stupid.
Yeah, the Best of the Hudson Valley is completely out of its mind.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
nuts.
yeah.
They're nuts over there. They have no idea what they're doing.
Okay, good. I thought it was
Well, no,
just me.
they do know what they're doing. It's called nepotism.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you advertise with us, you're going to fucking win. We'll make a category that only you fit into.
Yeah. There was no best
Did you pull up the categories?
Oh, no.
This would be a whole bit. Do you want me to do it?
Yeah. I'm trying. Whoever gets there first. Yeah, it's just like the coffee house that we work with. The owner was just like, there was no best coffee house. How is there no best coffee house? There was best coffee bean.
Oh.
Whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
yeah, because none of them are made here. They're just roasted here, you dumb fucks. You can't grow coffee in New York.
Yeah. Who gets the best blood coffee?
Yeah.
The one that people died for. That's the best bean.
All right, so we'll just go to food and drink and see what we got.
Yeah, there's like a million different categories for a dozen or more different things, and it's just overwhelming. You try to vote or you try to nominate, and you're just like, fucking hell, why? Like, this is, I'm gonna be here for half an hour sifting through all this bullshit. But I know that I nominated Ryan, and Brooke nominated him too, and.
Yeah,
that's
so
all I can
stupid.
say.
Okay, so the best beer label.
Label, like
the best beer label.
art label?
Yeah, so I don't see like the best beer. I see the best beer label. Newburgh Brewing Company won that one. The best bourbon, that makes sense. Best bratwurst, that makes sense. The best cassis.
Who makes cassis here?
Apparently Clinton Corners Vineyards.
Oh, all right.
Cassis is a dessert wine.
Shout out to
very
Clinton Corners.
specific.
Yeah.
There's no best red wine or best white wine.
Or best dessert wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best chicken parm panini. And like this, I did not research any of this. I just pulled this up and I just went into the food. Okay, the best chicken wing upgrade.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Who got it?
A Dutch Ale House. Garlic truffle parm wings.
Congratulations, guys.
The best coffee and more.
What's that?
West. The best coffee and more west in...
Oh, so west of the Hudson.
I guess. The best dog-friendly restaurant. The best frozen cappuccino.
Are there... Oh, wait.
The best frozen cappuccino, which doesn't exist. It cannot be a cappuccino if it's frozen. The best fruit wine.
Can we back up a little bit? And best pet-friendly restaurant? I want to know.
I mean, I don't want to fucking advertise for these places because they paid this magazine to make them win.
I still want to know.
Armadillo Bar and Grill in Kingston.
All right.
That place is actually pretty good. It is. Yeah. It's not great, but it's pretty good. Okay, the best hoppy beer.
He's such a douche.
The best hoppy beer.
Uh-huh.
What else we got? The best new butcher. Not butcher, not best butcher.
Yeah.
But the best new butcher.
Fuck those guys who've been around for 20 years.
The best new tapas joint. The best new yogurt. I'm only skipping. Like there are more fucking stupid ones than regular ones. Best nuts.
Right here, motherfucker.
The best place to pretend that you're still in Italy.
Oh, stop it.
The best rail trail snack stop. This is ridiculous.
Anyway, congratulations to Ryan G. Brown for winning,
this
best
stupid,
artist.
The best thing to happen to noodles. The best twist on grilled cheese. I mean, like, there's the best winemaker. That makes sense. That should be there. The best winery renovation. This is a fucking joke. This is a fucking joke.
It's just they need to...
Yeah.
They need to build some integrity into it. But the thing is, here's the thing, though. If you put up a sign, best in the Hudson Valley, people go, oh, I want best in the Hudson Valley. And then they walk in.
But it's like that stupid thing, like J.D. Power and Associates. Every manufacturer wins several awards from them evenly. It's rigged. It's made up. They pay. They go, yep, we'd like to be entered into your contest. Here's the entry fee of $700,000. And then you win something. It's bullshit.
Well.
So that's all I have to say about it. I mean, okay, there's a category called fun.
Oh, no, I don't want to know what they think is fun.
Cute wine attraction.
Like a roller coaster? What is that? What's happening?
The best follow-up to the walkway.
You know,
the fuck does that even mean? It's just something that was made after the walkway was
Sundays, froyo, something at the end of, like, when you're done with the walkway, what do you get at the end?
The best place to learn how to sail.
Probably from a sailing school.
Yeah.
A mariner's school? I don't even know. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah, this is so fucking
exhausted.
stupid.
I'm curious about what you're drinking, though.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm just really angry right now.
What are you drinking? We're Hecky Radio guys. Well, at least I am.
Just wait for it to fade out.
It's just 10 seconds too long.
Yeah, I know. So I've been drinking Stella Artois, which is a Belgian lager. It's fantastic beer, especially if you're looking to get into like real beers. This is what beer was after World War II.
Okay.
You know, this and Peroni are very, very similar. This was very, very popular beer in Europe.
And
then the
Heather
GIs
brought this.
Yeah.
You don't drink.
Well, not beer.
Yeah, so I'm just going to drink them all.
You could have brought a bottle of whiskey. That would have been fine.
Oh, I don't drink whiskey.
All right. Well,
what do you drink?
Oh God, I'm such a bitch. Like tequila sunrises and stuff.
All right. So
Fruity
like cocktails.
Stuff. Yeah.
All right.
Girly drinks.
That's okay. That's fine.
Nothing makes me happier than sitting on a beach drinking a giant fruity umbrella something or other. There's nothing better. But Stella,
yeah, it's a very good beer.
Gives Adam's approval.
Yeah. It's very light. It's fairly low alcohol. So if you're just wanting to get into beer that's not, Budweiser, Coors Light, you're looking to transition into some real craft beers. They've been around for like 600 fucking years. That's not a joke. It says it on the side of the fucking thing. Yeah, the roots of our rich brewing heritage can be traced back to 1366 in the town of Leuven, Belgium. 600 years later, we remained. I mean, the company hasn't been around that long, but this type of beer. Yeah, but it's good stuff.
What else you got over there?
So Millhouse,
two-fisting.
Yeah, Millhouse Brewing Company. Well, I was just finishing that off, and then
Poughkeepsie's very own.
Yeah, Millhouse Brewing Company. Who, to be honest, I don't drink as much of their beer because they're getting a little big for their britches.
Uh-oh.
I like to support more local, smaller endeavors when possible. Oh yeah,
strong words.
No, it's okay. They're really close to being like a nationally distributed beer. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you can get it everywhere.
Everywhere around here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have a full canning line, all that. They're getting big.
Well,
yeah,
mazel tov.
But this is the first time not the first time. I got this on Saturday, and I was like, I'm gonna go get this and bring it to the show. They I don't know if this is the first year they've done an Oktoberfest, but it's fantastic. It's Marzen Lager, very, very drinkable. A little on the sweet side for me, but I expect that with an Oktoberfest. That's what I'm looking for when I get an Oktoberfest, and really, really good. Yeah,
cool,
very solid. And that wasn't to disparage them. I'm just saying they don't need my money anymore.
Well, we got in that
Not
big
that they ever
heated
did.
discussion about Sam Adams last week. Was it last week?
Well, they're not at that level yet. Yeah, they're not at that level yet, and they probably never will be. But if you make a good beer and you're local, good for you. That's awesome.
I'm just drinking one of those spiked seltzer guys, one of the Trulies. They're the only ones I like.
Yeah.
I'm gluten free.
Oh.
I have celiac and I can't have beer.
Oh, so for real?
Oh yeah, for real. Yeah. I met one of the people that come into the coffee shop. I found out that she has celiac too, and I was like, all right, yeah, solidarity. And I'm so used to people going, no, I just like to stay away from it. I'd like to punch you in the face.
Yeah. What has more gluten in it, a bagel or a wrap? It's the same.
I miss bread so fucking much. Aww. But let's talk about the reason for the season. Still, what are you doing for Halloween? That's a good question, right?
Real talk. I have no plans right now.
Oh yeah,
like October's booked except for Halloween.
Oh okay.
Yeah, which is pretty sad.
Yeah, I take off. The day of, the day before, the partial day after. Oh yeah, we need time to set up our shit.
That's cool though.
We have a lot of stuff.
I love that. There's like nothing at least down by me. There's nothing like that. Like there's no houses that decorate like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty lame.
People remember us. That's my favorite thing. They walk up the driveway. They're like, "This is the fucking place. This was the place last year. Holy shit!" And they freak out. It's I don't know. It is a very creepy thing. I understand that. I fully understand that. Me getting all dressed up just so I could scare the shit out of neighborhood kids once a year, and the joy I get from it is weird. I get it. I don't know why I like it so much. It's just fun for me. It's just a wacky night, and like I said, having you on here, it's like amping me up.
Like
I'm all excited.
Start to the season.
Yeah.
I didn't get to come and see the whole thing last year. I should shoot over and just see it.
That's what I've been telling people. Like, if you want to come by and just check it out and hang out for a second and then dip out, that's fine. We're not like hosting parties or anything like that because we don't have time. We're in character the whole time.
So, like, do you usher the kids through or whatever?
No, we just kind of
it's kind of like a mini haunted house kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
we make it so that you have no choice to go. It's either that or you could walk up our pathway, but we block off the front door and everything. You have to go up the driveway, into the garage, to get your fucking candy. Brooke was the nun last year from The Conjuring 2,
awesome.
And we cut out we took a picture frame from the Restore, we took the painting out, and then we just had the glass front, so she stood behind, I wired that to the ceiling and everything, so it was just suspended, and she was just standing behind that, and as kids would come up to get the candy that was sitting on the table, she'd just walk out from behind the curtain and scare the piss out of them. And me, I was just kind of wandering around the whole time as the bride in black from
Okay.
Insidious 2.
Yeah.
So as they're walking up, getting their candy, I'm standing in the garage doorway, just standing there behind them. So they get their candy, they're all freaking out. They turn around, and then I'm there. It was great.
You know what's cool is like they're probably so young they don't get the reference yet, so it's just like
Yeah.
scary shit for them.
There was this one kid. He might have been 4 or 5. I was the Babadook one year, which is a. Have you seen that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what a good one. That's a good horror movie. I did a really good Babadook too. I'll pat myself on the back for that one. And I'm like, I have an old machete that was my grandfather's, and I had it in behind the curtain, and I was scraping it against my garage floor and doing all the Babadook barking noises and everything like that. And then I step out, and this kid's like freaking out. I can hear him freaking out, and his mom's like, "No, it's okay, it's okay. They're not gonna hurt you. They're not gonna come out." And he's like, "Ah!" And the mom goes, "Oh, look, it's the Babadook." He goes, "Oh, hi, Mr. Babadook."
Oh my
And he was
God.
just like, he was like 4. He was a tiny little guy. And he was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Wow, fuck." all that build up, and I got nothing from him. He wanted an autograph, for fuck's sake. But yeah, man, it's my favorite time of the.
I
It's
feel
my favorite time of
like
the year.
if I was into that kind of thing, I would just take it too far. There would be like pyrotechnics and
She's had to talk me off of.
yeah, a couple
clip.
things.
Yeah. There's this
There'd
body.
be like tripwires.
There's this body bag thing that I
Yeah.
want to do desperately, and this psychotic German butcher theme that I want to do one year. And she's like, well, "What are you gonna do?" I'm like, "I'm just gonna have meat hanging from the ceiling."
Oh my
Scare
God.
Like
children
real
with
meat? I'm like, "Well, what else am I
It's
supposed
production
to do?"
value, Brooke. Maybe we could have a
It's
barbecue.
not good meat. It's grade D. Yeah, it's my favorite time of year, and it's like just hearing that the film festival, House of Horrors Film Festival, and any other kind of thing like that. When that's going on, it just makes me happy because
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like people are a little too uptight about the season, about the I call it a holiday. They're people too uptight about Halloween. It's your chance to just freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
Just let loose. If you want to do something funny, do something funny. If you want to do something scary, do something scary. And it just I don't know. How long have you been in the Hudson Valley?
Oh, my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
area can be kind of lame sometimes.
I know, and it's so bizarre. Like, there's so much potential for so much stuff.
Yeah.
And just to, I don't know, like, there's a lot of Halloween stuff, but it's so catered to kids.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like, I get it. It's a big family-oriented area, but,
And
like...
that's the moneymaker.
Yeah, and, like, how many times can you go apple picking at, like, every single orchard in the Hudson Valley?
I just go to one.
Mine
Yeah.
is 0. I go 0 times.
I take friends to Wilklow so I can torture them.
Yeah. Well, now I'll go with you now. I'm just going to sit at the bottom and drink.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bad Seed Cider's got a tap room there now. And then the whole way home complain about how much my stomach hurts from having 12 hard ciders.
Yeah, but it's either like geared toward kids or drunk. You're
Whores.
getting drunk horse. Yeah, I didn't want to go too deep. Did you see the sexy Handmaid's Tale outfit that they have?
No.
Oh yeah, I think it was a Walmart thing or whatever the hell. It was a Handmaid's Tale costume, but the shoulders are exposed and it's like a mini skirt.
It's so stupid.
Oh yeah, people freaked the fuck out.
Are you sure it was real?
I swear to God, it was real.
Okay.
I saw a lot. People freaked the fuck out. It was really hilarious. Hold on, let me look it up.
There are a lot of things that people put out there that are just not. It wouldn't surprise me
I
if
know, I
somebody
was gonna
made
say
it.
that
It
too.
wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm just saying that would also seem like something that I could easily Photoshop.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, here it is. Retailer pulls sexy Handmaid's Tale. Oh, what is this? Oh no. Oh, there it goes. It's fine. Yeah.
Can you
Retailer
pull it
pull.
up there? I want to see it.
This is from the Boston Globe. Yeah, lingerie company Yandy announced Friday that it was pulling a sexy costume similar to the red outfits featured on Handmaid's Tale from its site after an ensemble sparked heavy backlash online.
You know what this fucking thing is?
Where's the goddamn picture? I can't find the fucking. They're not showing the photo. Hold
Yeah,
on.
just Google "sexy Handmaid's Tale."
Yeah, here it is right here. Oh, that's a YouTube video. I don't want to do that.
Go back. We can see it.
No, I'm picking up. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one right here.
You know, I really feel like this is something that a company put out there
just to
get popular.
Yeah.
Just so that just because you just said Yandy, the company that makes these fucking.
I'm helping them.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Well, it's the same shit. Like, you know how every year PETA gets their Super Bowl commercial denied?
Yeah, okay.
Every single fucking year they put out they submit a commercial to the Super Bowl and it gets denied. And then immediately that day they upload it to YouTube so that every news outlet in the world will fucking play a clip from it.
Ugh.
It's a brilliant strategy. Brilliant. And they do it every fucking year. And more people see it than if they paid the $1 million for the spot. And they get it for free.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what that was. I
get
mean,
it.
they probably had to make some of them. It's worth the investment, though.
Just in case someone was like,
yeah.
yeah, that's what I want to do.
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with somebody dressing like that on Halloween.
I'm not gonna. I'm not
well, not-
protesting.
No, not
like,
because not because they're
fine.
dressing sexy, but because it's. I mean, you could consider that, you know, protesting against fucking Trump if you wanted to make it that.
Yeah.
You know,
it was
it's just
a
like
weird...
if I want to dress like a whore, I'm going to. You can't fucking stop me. You know?
It was just a weird kind of. It was a weird design choice for for the theme.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was
Did they have to wear like the boxer shorts underneath it?
Oh,
the underwear that they wear.
Do you know what we're talking about? Do you watch Handmaid's Tale?
No, I haven't watched it. I read the book, but I never saw
Oh,
the show.
jeez. All right, so you're one of the few that actually read the book. We're all watching the show like, this is amazing. You're like, I know.
I'm probably gonna read it, but whenever I get into a show, I like to be behind the show with the book. You know, like. I didn't start reading Game of Thrones until well after, but then I kind of lost interest in it, to be honest. But a good example is The Walking Dead. I don't want to get ahead of where the show is because they are still pulling elements. So I purposely remain behind with the comic books so I don't get ahead of where the show is because I did that and it kind of ruined shit for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, because they're two totally different things, but... You go, is this going to happen? And then you spend all of your time going, is this going to happen? Are they going to do it or are they going to change it? Are they going to do it or are they going to change it? And you can't talk to Amy, who's watching it with me, because it might give away something for her.
Right.
So I'm going to wait until that series is over, and then I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
Well, it's one book, yeah?
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right,
and I read it like years ago, so it was before it came into like.
So the show.
So you're one of those people.
Yeah.
Just be like, I was into the books way before the show.
I was into Handmaid's Tale before. It was cool.
Yeah. Not that you come across like that. It's just I know a lot of Game of Thrones people like that.
Again, I've never seen Game of Thrones. I know.
Yeah.
I know,
You should
man.
do it.
I know.
Wow. I try not to have that reaction with people because it's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, you haven't watched the show because you probably have better shit to do. But me, I can't help it.
Here's where
like,
I'm at.
What?
I wish that I hadn't watched the show so I could spend the next 2 years watching the show so that there would be new ones sooner for me. Because I have to wait 2 more years before I find out what the fuck happens.
Yeah.
And it's almost over now, right?
There's 1.5...
That's it.
One more season left, right? But it's a long one, right?
Yeah, it's like a 12-episode season or something like that.
So it's like a season and a half, kind of. They're doing like a few more episodes, but they basically said, so we're going to be filming over the next 2 years.
Ugh.
That's how big a production it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I have this thing where like I can't start a series that I've already missed like the whole series.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, oh, it's going to be over soon. What am I doing?
But it's a good one to binge. Amy.
I know.
I was
She's
like,
a fucking
how
soldier.
do you find the time to do like I couldn't sit in one place. She watched the entirety of it in a month.
Oh my god.
It's like 5 seasons.
Yeah.
That's how many fucking hours is that? That was 100 hours.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's like you did that more than you worked. that amount of time. But yeah, I was kind of jealous because I wanted to do it, but yeah, it's like every time I'd come home from work and she'd be 6 more episodes deep.
Sounds to me like you're into books more than movies. Am I touching on that or no?
I don't think probably about even.
Okay.
Like honestly, there are certain things that once I sort of get a taste of them and they don't appeal to me anymore, I'm just like done with it.
Okay.
So like Game of Thrones, I think I watched like 10 minutes of one episode and I was like, nope. And I watched like the first 4 episodes of The Walking Dead. My brother was obsessed with it, like obsessed. And I was like, this is so boring. I can't watch it.
Yeah, I get that. The Walking Dead is more of a drama.
Yeah, I bailed out on that.
It'll be drama, and then action, like crazy horror, whatever, and then drama. And then there's a couple seasons that are just total dog shit because they had to fire people because they were taking it in the wrong direction, and then they had to they had to steer the ship back onto the right course. So there are definitely issues with that show, and if you weren't into it from day fucking one, you weren't invested. He punched out for, 3 seasons?
I left before Negan came.
Yeah.
And then when I heard about Negan, I was like, I'm going to watch this just to see. And, it was cool and all, but then it got old again for me. I don't know.
I mean, a show like that's going to have an ebb and flow. And the problem that I have with it is that there's no end in sight. They're not planning on ever ending it. And
I thought they called for like the end, like after 12 seasons, they were going to end it or something. Wow.
That was the plan.
Oh.
But that showrunner who said that was fired 4 seasons ago.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Who knows what's going to happen? And the thing is,
as
with
long
a
as
comic
it's
book,
still making money.
Well, the thing is, they need to kill people and have it turn into a different show.
Yeah,
because that's what happens in the comics. Not necessarily. I'm just saying, like, they would have in a comic book, they'd have no problem killing Rick. It would happen, and people would go, all right, moving along. They kill main characters all the time in the comics. And with television, it seems like they're like, well, we can't kill this guy because people are going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Daryl.
Yeah. And Daryl's not even a character in the comics.
I know.
He's
that's
made
the
up for the
craziest
show.
thing. Everybody's favorite character.
Yeah, he started off.
Books.
He started off as an amalgam of a couple people, and then just became a totally different thing.
Yeah.
But like even like Merle didn't exist in the comic. Like there's like that whole part of the storyline didn't exist. But I don't want to go deep down the rabbit hole because you haven't watched it. But it's a show that's worth just binging. If you ever just go like, I'm gonna start a new show, give it a chance, get to episode 6 or 7, you'll probably be hooked by then. Because even I remember when that show first came out, you were even like, I don't know, and I was like, give it a couple more, trust me. And I stuck with it, but now it's just like it'll sit. Well, I don't have a DVR anymore, but it would sit on the DVR for sometimes 2-3 weeks before I'd get to it. That's fine because I'm not like on Facebook looking it up.
Meanwhile, I'm on HBO refreshing constantly, waiting for the new Game of Thrones episode to come on for streaming because I don't have cable. And on Sunday night, like, come on, yes, and jump right into it. But I was gonna ask about books and everything like that. You seem like are you into horror books too? Because having Jennifer Place on the show talking about Building 51 and actually reading a horror novel. I haven't really gotten through any Stephen King books myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm actually that's a lie. I got through The Gunslinger. I really enjoyed that one. But
isn't that the least horror book he's
it's a sci-fi western kind of parallel dimension type friggin' book. But are you into like the horror books as well, or is
it's kind of like a new development for me. Like I was a huge horror film fan, and it just sort of like, I don't know how I stumbled into it, but like I said, like my mom was obsessed with Stephen King and Dean Koontz and all of those guys. And I just remember like the paperback covers used to terrify me. So I was never really into it as a kid. And then I recently started like just trying to broaden the horror fiends. And with it, I was like, oh, it would be cool if we like delved into literature too.
Yeah.
And since then, I've sort of developed more of a taste for it. Like before that, I didn't really read much horror. But even so, like I'm finding all these contemporary authors that aren't super popular or famous that I think deserve a lot of attention. So it's really cool to have the opportunity to like read through their stuff and bring it to the forefront to like people who may not have heard of them and who are genre fans, but they don't read much. And maybe I can be like, you don't read much, but like here's some bizarre stuff that you might be into, you know.
Yeah. So the book club is coming up.
Yes.
On October 6th. So what is it? Explain that to me, because I don't know what the fuck. I mean, like, is it you all read one book and then you discuss it? Is that kind of thing? Okay.
Yeah, so we're actually reading Frankenstein right now.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
how fucking cool!
Such a good one.
I know, right?
That's one of my favorite books ever.
It's so good,
and it's public domain. You could just download it on Kindle.
Yeah, that's what I've been telling everybody too. I'm like, you don't have to buy it. Just
I've never
download
read it. I gotta try it. I'm not much of a reader. I don't know if you can tell.
I think we already had that as a title, so I'm not going to write it down.
No, reading is hard was the title.
Yeah. I'll just write down I'm not much of a reader.
Yeah, I've never read that one. That's so Frankenstein. So you read it over the course of the month and then switch to a different book, or do you just? I mean, because I'm sure some people can finish, some people can't.
Yeah, so we're actually we're really laid back and chill. So we're like, even if you didn't read the book and you just want to come in and talk about some horror stuff, without fail, our conversations always sort of deviate to other horror stuff, whether it's TV or movies or whatever, or what the horror fiends are doing or want to do or whatever. So yeah, and working with the public library has been really cool because they have copies of all these books available to everybody, so they don't have to buy them.
Right.
Yeah, so like I said, everything's really laid back. We're just, if you read the book, if you don't finish the book, whatever, just come in. If you don't want spoilers, maybe don't come. But if you don't care, then yeah, just come hang out with us and talk about Now Frankenstein.
What are some other titles?
We read Horror Store by Grady Hendrix.
Horror Store?
Yeah, it's actually...
Horror is a hard word to insert into certain things.
And it's cool. It's horror, STO with an umlaut R. And it's a horror IKEA setup. So it was good. We read Final Girls. We read a few local authors too, which was really fun. But we haven't been in existence that long. So
yeah,
if you guys want to show up, it's a small group. It's cool. Come read, don't read. We'll just talk about stuff.
Besides Building 51, the only thing horror I think I can remember remotely horror is Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, which actually the author talks about Rhinebeck a little bit.
Oh, really?
In the book. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
cool. It's pretty cool because he talks about the candy shop
it takes
and
place
cigar.
In Rhinebeck.
Cigar.
Well, it's like a bracketed storyline where you have the writer in present day, and then he's writing this memoir about Abraham Lincoln as a vampire hunter, and then it goes back to him in present day.
Yeah, because I don't know if you know, but
Abraham Lincoln was a vampire hunter.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
The
it was
movie,
very
I wasn't
secretive.
sure where this was going.
The government
dog
likes
shit.
to hide it.
Yeah. The movie, total dog shit. Don't watch it. Although the fight scenes are pretty good because they were using practical wire effects instead of CG for some of it. So there are shining moments, but the only thing that has to do with the book in the movie is that there's Abraham Lincoln and there's vampires. The whole story is totally different, which is super annoying. But yeah, that's one of my favorite books. He also wrote Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, which sucks.
I haven't read it. I
The
saw
book?
the movie.
Yeah, the movie I think sucked too.
Yeah,
I don't really remember.
It wasn't great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really too bad. And there's a sequel to Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, the book. There's a second book, and the book it just really fell flat for me. It was very sad.
Really?
It's like he struck gold one time, and now his career should be over, and he should stop.
Woof.
Yeah.
Strong words.
I know, right?
I was a crazy fan of that book, and I can't even tell you how disappointed I was in everything else he's ever done. It's terrible.
It's a bummer.
Yeah. But anyway, you read that book and you're just like, Abraham Lincoln was absolutely a vampire hunter. The amount of historical research that he did.
He poured everything into it. It was amazing.
I'm gonna have to look.
It was just
now.
like he looked for points where there was no historical evidence of what Abraham Lincoln was doing at that time, and just inserted storyline.
Yeah, he's in Kentucky killing a doctor.
Yeah.
Well, obviously he was
was
vampire hunting.
Fucking crazy. It's an insane book, and I cannot recommend it enough. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's a shitload of fun.
Yeah, and just like his take on like how vampirism works is like just It's really well done. Really, really well
What
done.
Stephen King book should I read? Like
The Shining.
Oh, Pet Cemetery.
Or Pet Cemetery. That would have been my
What
second
about
choice.
It?
I'm
should read-
actually
you
not
should-
a huge
yeah.
Stephen King fan.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
It's just your mom. It's just your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like about 50% of his stuff.
What's a great horror book that I can read?
Phantoms. Dean Koontz. I'm dead serious.
Wait, Phantoms is a Dean Koontz book?
Yeah.
With Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Is Ben Affleck in the book?
No.
Oh.
Is Ben Affleck. I'll write that. Yes. Okay. So everyone listening should stop the show, go on Amazon, and watch Phantoms with Ben Affleck because he is the shit, as Jay from Jay and Silent Bob said. That movie is fantastic and hilarious. And the guy who plays Ray Donovan is in it. He plays a pedophile who is killed. It's great. I can never remember that guy's name.
Ray Donovan?
Ray Donovan is a Showtime show.
Shit, what is
He
his
also
name?
played Sabretooth in the
Yeah.
Oh, Liev Schreiber.
Liev Schreiber.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Fantastic movie. He's got like rapist glasses and he touches a dead lady's boob. It's super weird. It's fucking great. Phantoms is the shit, but the book is better.
Oh.
Yeah. I was a big Dean Koontz fan. Wait, what was I going to write down? You distracted me.
Is Ben Affleck
Dead
in the
lady's
book? Yeah. Dead lady's boob. Yeah, back to it.
I really love The Haunting of Hill House. Shirley Jackson.
Yeah, they made a movie, right? Was it Liam
There have been a
Neeson was
few-
in there?
Yeah, they just changed
Oh
it to
God,
The Haunting.
The movie was horrible.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
that was
great
not good.
example of CGI being overused
Oh my
before we were
God.
ready.
What an awful
That fucking
movie.
statue moving around looked like Sandman and Spider-Man 3, which came out 15 years later
The
and
ghost
looked just
kids
as bad.
under the covers. Oh God, it's terrible.
Yeah, that movie was dog shit.
The book, much better.
The Haunting of Hill House by
Shirley Jackson.
Shirley Jackson.
Or
Okay.
any of her stuff actually is.
What else
so
did she do?
good. She wrote "We Have Always Lived in a Castle"
Okay.
and "The Lottery," which is a collection of stories.
Oh, the lottery. I remember that one was fucked up.
I think we read that in school.
Yeah, we read that in school.
Yeah, so she's
The
like
Black Rock. Right?
she's awesome.
Was it the black? Yeah,
I
it's the
don't
black
remember.
stone. You pick the black stone, you get your ass pelted to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson had a song, and the whole
He
music
had a
video.
lot of songs, but
He had a song where the music video was the lottery. He gets
That's
stoned
cool.
to death at the end.
Oh.
Which is probably the best. It probably should have ended there for him, but
He should have actually gotten stoned.
yeah,
to
he
death.
should have just
Yeah.
died and stopped making music.
Director was like, I want to go real meta here.
Wait, you want me to actually die?
Oh, very method.
Would help. Method. That's what I was like.
All right, so
We got pumpkin over there.
Yeah, I could talk about it. I only bought one because they're very expensive. Dogfish pumpkin ale, brown ale brewed with pumpkin and spices. This actually has pumpkin in it.
Yes.
Which is one of the few pumpkin beers that actually has pumpkin in it. They're mostly pumpkin spice. And this is just fantastic. It's a really, really, it's not overly spiced. It's a little bit hoppy, a little bit sweet, really delicious. But I was feeling in a very fall mood today.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think here?
I think you need to read Phantoms as soon as possible.
It's all right. I'm gonna.
I probably still have a copy.
Report back.
Yeah,
Phantoms.
Dean Koontz is one of my favorite writers when
Phantoms,
I was
right.
younger, especially. I think
Yeah.
I've kind of outgrown his style a little bit, but I would read Phantoms again, I think.
And-
Not that it's juvenile, it's just kind of, it's more marketed towards a little bit of the lower common denominator in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, like because, I mean, most people don't read, you know?
And there was always like that mass market
Yeah.
thing back in the 90s with all those horror writers like Ketchum and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
well, a lot of people would say like Dean Koontz is like a poor man Stephen King.
Yeah.
But his stuff, I think his stuff was more involved in a lot of ways, and it was a lot more sci-fi, which is a little bit more my... Because Phantoms, for instance, it's a horror book, but it's all based in reality. There's no ghosts, there's no nothing, but you don't really know what's happening until the end. But it's all explained, and it's all scientific. And that's the stuff I really like. I'm trying to think what else. Didn't he write... What the fuck is the name of that movie? Had Sam Neill, took place on a spaceship.
Ooh, Event Horizon.
I think he wrote that,
That was
but
a
I could be
good one.
completely wrong about that. He also wrote Sphere, which is one of my favorite books. No, that's Michael Crichton. But that's one of my favorites too. But that's kind of sci-fi horror too.
Sphere was cool.
Yeah,
The movie, at least.
the books were better.
Local authors, I guess. You said more local.
Yeah, probably the best was Andrew Hernan. He wrote a book, In the Shadow of Saint Anthony. Sorry, that's probably the best that I've read. I actually have a copy if you want to borrow it. It's really good.
Well, I'd probably just try and pick it up to.
What's the guy's name? What's his name?
The author is Andrew Hernan.
Andrew Hernan. Okay.
Yeah. That's probably the best one. But there's also a really prominent writer who lives up in the Catskills or something. His name is John Langan.
Okay.
And I think he's an adjunct professor at New Paltz. And he wrote a book called The Fisherman. It's probably one of the best horror novels I've ever read.
Really?
Yeah.
We should try and get him on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he might do it
Was
too.
the
He's a
fisherman?
sweetheart.
Was the fisherman's name John? In the book.
It was not.
Oh, all right.
But
Primus reference.
That's -1 already, right off the top.
Yeah, I really enjoyed having Jen on here. Like, we were kind of worried talking to an actor, or not an actor, a writer.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "So, is this show going to be like serious? Because I'm having trouble with that." Like, she went on the Transmitter podcast, and she was like, "I didn't expect it to be like a serious interview." She was like, "I just thought I was going to be bullshitting."
And we're like, "No,
So-
there's a dick on the table.
Yeah.
You'll be fine."
Which is,
Yeah, but that was-
seriously is like
yeah.
so distracting.
We haven't.
It's like constantly wiggling.
I haven't noticed how much it moved until you mentioned something, and now like in the corner of
Your
my eye,
peripheral,
I keep seeing it just wiggle.
Just waving hello. What's up?
Oh, Jesus. Well, where are we? Yeah, we're about there.
Yeah.
I would say we're there. Boom. We'll call that the end.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This
Yeah,
is awesome.
this
Thank
is-
you so much.
I love hearing stuff about this, and really just take it from us. Just plow ahead.
Okay.
Just keep moving forward. It's gonna suck.
But you'll find your audience.
Okay.
You'll get there.
You'll
Yeah.
get there. You just gotta hit. You gotta keep hitting.
I'm sure you get a couple of likes out of this at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Which I appreciate,
I'm
thank
hoping
you.
that we can make it work to come out to the festival and check it out and watch.
Yeah, for no other
watch
reason,
Night of the
just-
Living
yeah,
Dead
just
for the
come hang out or whatever.
150th time.
Yeah.
I seriously just watched it 2 weeks ago.
And on the big screen.
Yeah,
that's gonna
I've
be
never
cool.
seen it on a big screen.
Me either.
So.
I think I've only seen it once. And,
Oh, really?
you know.
Well, one thing we do a Halloween party every year. This will be like the 3rd year now. And last year I put it up on an overhead projector and it just plays on the wall.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's just like it was like a decoration, and it was so cool. So I'm going to do that again this year. So
Yeah,
that's
so-
the biggest screen I've seen it on, I guess.
And what we're talking about is the House of Horrors Film Festival, featuring Night of the Living Dead in its entirety, along with some short films and everything from all across the land. That's Sunday, October 21st. Also, before that, October 6th, that's Saturday. Check out the Hudson Valley Horror Fiends Book Club meet up at Mapac Library. The library. Also Friday, October 19th. So that's a whole weekend. House of Horrors Film Festival, but you're also going to be at Carmel Cinema doing a meetup for the new Halloween movie, which, Jamie Lee Curtis and Mike Myers, the actor
Nick
who
Castle.
Nick Castle, the original Mike Myers, is playing Mike Myers.
That's awesome.
That's pretty fucking
Yeah.
cool. Instead of, what was his name? He was the guy who played Sabretooth in the first X-Men movie. Tyler Maine.
That fucking guy.
Tyler Maine
Yeah.
is his name. He was a former wrestler. He played Mike Myers.
And didn't Kane Hodder play?
Huh?
Kane Hodder played Mike Myers too? I don't remember.
A lot of people, I'm
Yeah.
sure, played that fucking guy.
I
Not
was
Freddy, though.
unaware.
Only 2.
Yeah.
Only 2. And I like Jackie Earls better.
What time?
Yeah, I fucking said it. I said it.
What time does the festival start?
It starts at 6, but I would get there a little early to make sure you get tickets.
Yeah, there's going to be raffles.
Yeah.
Some things we can't talk about.
Yeah, I'll announce them soon, hopefully.
Some really exciting shit.
Cool. Well, I mean, especially if it's in the evening, I'm sure I can make it work that I'll be there. You're off. You just have to convince Brooke to let you go.
She'll probably come.
Yeah.
Love that shit. So yeah, and
I love the idea of just doing like a short little live show, like a half an hour. We'll do a quick interview and then just enjoy the movie. Like, we could live stream it because it's public domain, but I don't want to do all that.
Yeah. And the shorts are really good. Like,
yeah.
I thought it was going to be torture sitting through all of those shorts, but it was really hard to like pare down the 2 hours. So they're really worth.
Oh, good.
Are there any of the filmmakers going to be there?
We don't know yet. We had to just notify them, so we're going to find out soon if they're going to be there.
It'd be really cool to meet some of them, if possible.
Try and
let
get
us
them
know.
on the show.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I see what you're fucking
That's
doing.
all I want to do.
All right.
There's a part of my brain that does that you don't have.
I don't. They're like, hey, how's it going? What's going? Nice to meet you. Blah, blah, blah. What do you do? I work at the Crafted Cup, 44 Raymond Avenue in Poughkeepsie, New York. Just, whatever. I'm like, oh, that's it?
And then I'm right there like, and?
Oh, yeah, I got a podcast. This guy. I'm wearing the shirt.
Do you want to give them a sticker? And you're like, oh, yeah, I give them a sticker.
I'm one of those people who just doesn't think anything I do is meaningful.
Oh, same. I'm surprised I'm here.
I'm just constantly under my own microscope saying, you're worthless, you shit. You're terrible at this. Just pack it up and kill yourself.
You read my diary.
Well, it's very exciting, and I like to see people starting new cool things here in the Hudson Valley.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think most people just scroll through their Facebook feed while they're shitting, and that's the most creative thing that they do all day.
And they're finished shitting, and they go sit on the couch, and they watch Netflix while they're still scrolling. Just a lot of scrolling. Yeah. So yeah, this is cool as shit. So Hudson Valley Horror Fiends at HV Horror Fiends on Facebook and Instagram. Quick follow. Click a button. You're scrolling already. I know you are.
Yeah, just click. You don't even have to look at it. Just get the number up there. Come on. Just like subscribe to this show. You don't have to listen. Just subscribe, and it'll automatically download to your phone, and that helps us. And then the following week, the next one will automatically download, and it'll delete the last one. You don't even have to listen.
Subscribe. It's easy.
Yeah,
go for it.
Just do it. Try it out. Let's go.
Well, you gotta do titles.
Oh yeah, I have to pee again though.
Adam's been compiling a list of titles over the course of the show, possible show titles.
Oh, I'm excited.
Not very many because we all got
because we were just talking about movies and nerding out. The shows where we get a lot of titles are like when I drink too much and there's a lot of one-liners. Tonight was just like I just want to talk about Alien for the next 2 hours, but you haven't seen it.
I know. Next time at the film festival, we'll nerd out about.
So
Alien.
I'm gonna start at the bottom because I think the first one I wrote down is gonna be the title.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So is Ben Affleck in the book?
Okay.
And then we have I'm not much of a reader.
Well,
and then desperately seeking some like-minded weirdos.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
That was the first 5 minutes of the show.
I missed it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
She was talking about how she was trying to find some people to watch horror movies.
Sometimes it just takes my brain a minute to settle into what you're saying. I'm not good at a lot of things.
We should get you saying that isolated. It'll be like the E-Rock going, I'm not good. So I think we should go with desperately seeking some like-minded weirdos because it sounds like a newspaper ad.
Yeah.
Just missed on Craigslist.
Yeah, missed connections.
Yep.
Yeah, circle that. We'll do that. And hashtag Ben Affleck. Fuck it. Or hashtag Phantoms.
Hashtag Phantoms.
Awesome. We've did it. And that's how you do a podcast.
Yeah.
Boom.
And we're actually just ending the show.
Number 180. What?
We're actually just like ending the show.
Yeah.
Well, not now. Now we're talking about
we're talking about ending the show and still not ending the show.
All right, everyone, watch Phantoms. I'm sure you can find it for free online.
And while you're
Please
watching
watch it.
Phantoms and scrolling through your phone, go to HV Horror at HV Horror Fiends on Facebook and at HV Horror Fiends on Instagram. October 21st, that's the big thing. Sunday, October 21st. House of Horrors Film Festival. Night of the Living Dead and select short films.
Yeah.
Very cool. Heather, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for bringing me all this beer.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. Can't wait. We don't have anybody for next week, so that beer's going straight down your belly. All right, kids. Yeah, maybe someone next week, maybe not.
Yeah, I just got to do my job over the next 4 or 5 days.
Or don't.
I'm the booking czar.
Okay.